One of the reasons why, as you say, why is Kellen Moore such a hot candidate? He's part of the problem. He's the offensive coordinator. He's got a role in making sure that they're designing the right plays, calling them at the right time, practicing them properly. And Moore's role becomes even more critical when we consider the criticisms that Troy Aikman, who desperately wanted to call the Cowboys 49ers game, he had a funny line about that during the game that he did get on Sunday, the Buccaneers hosting the Eagles. But here's Aikman from one of the local radio stations. I can't remember which one. Something The Ticket, 96.7, 97.6, I don't know. Yeah. Something in the 90s, point something. Here's Troy Aikman with his criticism of the Cowboys' offensive approach and specifically their inability or unwillingness to get the ball to receiver CeeDee Lamb.
San Francisco rushed four guys for the most part. They blitzed occasionally, but they're a four-man rush football team. But a lot of times when you say that, then you think, oh, well, they're playing coverage. Well, they mixed in some coverage, but there was a lot of single coverage on CeeDee Lamb. It was back when I was playing, and I hate going back to that point because nobody cares. But what I see around the leagues, not just Dallas, it was in Philadelphia, I've seen it with a lot of teams, that a lot of these offenses, they want to scheme things. The coordinators it's all about scheme. Rather than this corner is playing soft, he's scared to death, just run the route tree. Just run a comeback, run a dig route, run a curl, run anything. And you're going to complete the pass whenever you want. And Urban would have had 10 catches at halftime if they had played us the way that they played CeeDee Lamb in that game. The game's not that difficult. If I've got a great player at wide receiver and a corner is playing him single coverage, throw him the ball. Yeah. You know, he's going to win most of the time.
Yeah, it's a great point by Troy Aikman. We overcomplicate football so many times. It ultimately comes down to if you've got superior talent and the other team is overmatched physically, getting that player the football in his hands over and over and over again. And again, what do the best coaches do? They spot a weakness and they exploit it. They don't feel guilty about it. They're not caught up in their scheme, their approach, their philosophy. We have a mismatch. We're going to win the game by taking advantage of the mismatch. We're going to force them to overcompensate for the mismatch, and then we'll find some other mismatch when they reallocate their resources on defenses to try to account for the mismatch we're exploiting. It's that simple. When you don't do that, and I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will do that to the 49ers this weekend, when you don't do it, you squander your chances to score points, and you put yourself in a position when you're down 16 points late in the second half.
Yeah, and my question is, and I need to text Troy and ask him this particular question, does he think that's on Kellen Moore or is that on Dak Prescott? Is Kellen Moore doing enough to scheme these things up? But it sounds like to me he's putting it on Dak, that Dak's not finding the player who's in single coverage. I do know that CeeDee Lamb had 0 targets in the first half. That just can't happen, Mike. I think he's their best receiver. I think he's better than Amari Cooper. No targets in the first half. Even if you want to argue that Amari Cooper is better than CeeDee Lamb, you've got to get Lamb some targets in the first half. They didn't do that. 5 targets total, 1 catch for 21 yards. That was it. That's all he had. That's not enough for him, especially being in single coverage for much of the game.
You know, when you said that you need to text Troy Aikman, first of all, I don't have Troy Aikman's number, so good for you. Second of all, do you have Roger Staubach's number? That's the one that you really would want to be able to text. So just making sure. Your once future husband from years ago. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to track him down if need be. But again, Packers aren't going to play that game. Packers are going to take full advantage of any and all weaknesses they find. Aaron Rodgers is going to deliver the football. It's going to be there, and they're going to move forward. They're going to score points, and it's going to be a longer day for the 49ers defense than it was on Sunday, especially if they don't have Nick Bosa. That's the one big question that hovers over the 49ers defense. If you don't have Nick Bosa there to help get after Aaron Rodgers, he's got more time to wait for those mismatches in the secondary to manifest themselves.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.